Well, hey there guys, this is RHR Riffs, guitar channel for the self-taught. Well, hey there guys, this is RHR Riffs, the rock and roll guitar channel for the self-taught. In today's video, we're going to talk about lower tier signature or tribute guitars. Now, what I mean by lower tier is not Gibson, not Made in America Fenders, ESP, that sort of thing. Those are all tier 1 or upper tier guitars. This is an Epiphone Vivian Campbell Les Paul. This is a made in Mexico Fender Jimi Hendrix Stratocaster. Now, from what they say, from what I have heard, what they told me, let's put it that way, when I went to check this guitar out at Sam Ash, this was the last one of these that they had, this Vivian Campbell Les Paul. He said that these tribute guitars, whether they're Epiphones or whatever, are as good as any Gibson. And I was kind of shocked by that. I was like, wow, really? And at the price that it was, they were looking to clear it out. It was the last one they had. They were trying to get rid of it. And at the price that it was at, I thought, geez, man, a Gibson quality, and some people might question that, but we'll talk about that in another video. But a Gibson quality Les Paul at that price, whew, you'd be stupid not to do it. And one of the other big reasons I got this guitar is because of the pickups in it. These are DiMarzio X2Ns. Now, I used to have a Hamer Flying V. It was called a Hamer Vector in the 1980s. I had a DiMarzio X2N put in at the bridge on that guitar, and man, those things scream. You have to control them, actually. They can get out of hand. You really have to keep control of these things. But man, they're like flamethrowers. They're hot as can be. I think it's the hottest pickup that DiMarzio makes. And boy, they sound like it. But I'll tell you, is this guitar any good? Yeah, it's fantastic. And I've done a few little things to it here. I put the bridge on and that sort of thing. And, you know, this is a Floyd Rose FRX, by the way. It's a top mount. You don't route out the guitar. There are no screws. It just mounts right onto the pole pieces there. And this part I did have to screw into. That is the locking mechanism, which works great. Again, I don't think this guitar really would necessarily appreciate in value. So a couple screws in the headstock there probably is no big deal, right? Now this Fender Made in Mexico Jimi Hendrix guitar, it has the reverse headstock, all that sort of thing. At first, I had seen somebody play one of these at a bar or a club, whatever you want to call it, at a New Year's party many years ago. And I thought, wow, what a gimmick, come on, dude. But actually, when I went to check it out, I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool. I had no idea of all the differences between this guitar or a regular Stratocaster. Again, the neck or headstock is upside down. All the pickups are upside down, if you want to call it that. You can see that the bridge pickup is mounted funny. It's just the opposite. It's supposed to do everything that Jimmy's guitars did, just in a right-hand player. And I'll tell you what, this is a phenomenal guitar. It sounds amazing. It sounds more Stratty than a regular Strat, in my opinion. And it plays just unbelievably. I cannot stop singing the praises of this Stratocaster. And the reason I got it was because, you know, I want to vary up my sound. I got kind of tired of hearing the same old all the time. I wanted different tones out of different guitars, and man, does this thing offer it. And these pickups, these 65 Classics, these things are kind of hot. They definitely have their own sound, and they sound, to me, amazing. Now let's talk about a couple things that I'm not so crazy about both of the guitars. This Les Paul is as heavy as a tank. Now, I used to play a lot of heavy guitars back in my day when I was playing in bands and bars and all that sort of thing. And it really screwed up my left shoulder. And so that's why I use this on a stand. I use them both on a stand. I use all my guitars on a stand, unless I have it in my lap. But this thing is just too heavy. It's ridiculously heavy. Then you throw that bridge on top of it, and now it's stupid heavy. So that's a drawback with this. But if you don't mind heavy guitars, or if you don't mind playing it on a stand or whatever, it's great. Love it. Fantastic. And the Stratocaster, it's the same old thing with all Stratocasters. The tone selector switch and the volume knob, the first one there next to the bridge and the bottom pickup, what a pain in the rear. I constantly hit those things. That's a bummer about Strats. But I had a bushing, or like a gasket, put underneath the volume knob on this, and now you have to really physically turn it to get the thing to turn. So I got that fixed, but I still hit the pickup selector switch. It's just part of Strats, I guess. But again, as far as that goes, I mean, I just love this guitar. Again, I cannot say enough about this guitar. If you see one, grab it. If you're into Strats, or if you're just looking for a Strat, I would highly recommend that you take a look at one of these. Even though you might consider it a gimmick, I most certainly did when I first saw them. But again, when I played it, listened to it, learned about it, boy, whoo, killer Strat. I love you, baby. Now, this Les Paul, it has a different kind of neck. The neck is shaped how Vivian Campbell liked it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure quite what the deal is with that. It's okay. I mean, the neck's okay. I don't find it any better than any of my other Les Pauls. That being said, this is still a great guitar. It plays extremely well. It intonates perfectly. It sets up perfectly. Nice low action on both of these, which I was really surprised how low the guys that got this action on this guitar. I took it into a shop, and they did an amazing job on it. Those guys did really good work. So I am super satisfied with both of these guitars. I've owned several Gibsons, Hammers, ESP, you name it, and these are great guitars. You know, I just can't say it enough. I would buy these again in a heartbeat. No question, no question. These are great guitars. Now I'm going to put a couple links in the top comment, and you'll see a couple demos, if you want to call them that, of each guitar. The way to really hear the tone of the guitars is to hear them in a mix. So you're going to hear these things in songs. There'll be a mix. So you can hear what they really sound like with drums, bass, another guitar, all that sort of thing. Get your hands on them, try them out, see what you think, because that is all that matters. Not what I tell you, what you think. So again, guys, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll answer what I can, if I can. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next video.